to imagine that it wasn't a basement at all, but a dungeon. The only thing scarier than the house at 704 Shadow Lane was the old woman who lived inside it. Over there, Kevin pointed out where Amanda's ball had landed. Right next to the shed where she throws the rats after she bites their heads off. Amanda shuddered. It was just one of the many rumors about old Mrs. Barnes. And while Amanda didn't want to believe that it was true, she knew enough about Mrs. Barnes to be afraid that it just might be. If I were you, Jared said, I'd forget about going in there after that ball. She can't do that, Laura shrieked, horrified by the suggestion. What if Barnesy gets her evil old hands on it? What happens then, huh? Probably the same thing that happened to that lizard kid, Kevin answered. What lizard kid? Jared asked. The lizard kid, Kevin repeated impatiently. You know, the kid that blew up on his own front yard. It was an old story that had been handed down so many times that there was no one around who had actually seen it happen. But all the kids still believed that it did. Luzard, Jared corrected him. Lizard, Luzard, who cares what his name is? Kevin rolled his eyes in exasperation. The kid's still dead, isn't he? And all because Barnesy got her hands on something that belonged to him. It was a water pistol. At least that's the way Amanda had heard it. And while there were several other variations of the story, one thing was certain. There really was a Frederick Luzard. And he really was dead. They'd seen his headstone in the cemetery. He was 11 and a half years old when he died, the same age as Amanda. Nobody really knows what happened to that kid. Jared tried to be the voice of reason. Cut me a break. Kevin was not about to drop the subject. He was scared to death of Mrs. Barnes and took every opportunity to spread the fear around. Everybody knows what happened to that kid. He burned up just like that. Kevin snapped his fingers. Barnesy put a spell on him, and the kid fried. It's too awful to even think about, Laura cringed. Yeah, well, think about what she did to Todd French. Todd French was the only person they actually knew who claimed to have suffered under an evil spell cast on him by Mrs. Barnes. It all started the day after one of his brothers tossed his baseball cap onto Barnesy's property to see if Todd was brave enough to go and get it. But he didn't go get it. And according to Todd, it was the worst decision of his entire life. Barnesy did not put a spell on Todd French, Jared insisted. Oh, yeah? Kevin shot back. Then how do you explain the 27 stitches he got in his head the day after Barnesy got his cap? It was 9, Jared corrected him. And he walked into the sliding doors at the supermarket. Because Barnesy made him, Kevin insisted. And a week later, she made like 6 of his teeth fall out. No, the dentist had to pull 2 of his molars out to make room for all the rest of those buck teeth he's got. And what about the lice? Kevin asked. Amanda was waiting for the logical explanation. But even Jared seemed to be stumped by the lice. Todd French does not have a spell on him, Jared finally huffed. Besides, he's still alive, isn't he? For now, Kevin said ominously, looking directly at Amanda. You can't let Barnesy get her hands on that ball. Laura pointed out what Amanda already knew. Amanda wasn't entirely convinced that Todd French was suffering at the hands of Mrs. Barnes, but she didn't want to take any chances either. I've got to go get it, Amanda announced. And before she could change her mind, she started to squeeze through the fence. No, Jared stopped her. I'll go. Yeah, Laura jumped on the offer. Let Jared go.